Okay. So we're gonna talk about the definition of singleness.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I just had that page up. I looked up the legal definition. The reason I say legal is because people interpret singleness different ways.
Absolutely.
And as much as I like Merriam-Webster, I feel like for the sake of peace and the law, it's best to go with the legal definition. So I'm just gonna spit that out. Legal definition of single: someone who is not in a relationship or is unmarried. Single individuals may participate in dating and other activities to find a long-term partner or spouse. Now, I put that part in there. It was like a paragraph, I'm not gonna lie. But I put that part in there because a lot of people say, well, if you single and there's no way to be single and dating. Not exactly true. Like, you can still date multiple people and not be committed to nobody.
Right.
Like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But people see something wrong with that. For me, you are single until you say I do. Or until you get married. Until you commit to somebody through the law, I guess. Or make that covenant. Once you make that covenant, then, okay, you're no longer single.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're single, you're single. Single is single. Single is uno. Uno. Single.
Now, I agree to a certain degree, but I disagree slightly, because I believe once you both, I hate to say it this way, once y'all agree to monogamy with each other, you don't necessarily have to be married at that point. Like now, I'm courting someone, and I declared my intentions to her that, hey, we're gonna build something. I'm with you. Like, once that's declared, and I'm not saying like there's an exact verbiage that have to be done, but like once someone's like, hey, I want us to build, or
well, that makes a difference though, because the two of you agree.
Yeah, I feel like
now,
an agreement has to be reached.
For me, I have not agreed to anybody at this point. Nobody. So if you ask me out on a date, hey, I'm free. I'm going. Where we going? Plan a date and I'm going. Because my thing is, I have not committed to anybody. I'm not committed to anybody at this point. If I do commit to a person and I say, oh, okay, well, this my boyfriend, this my boo, this my babe, then that's a different story. Because I'm not going to say babe because I don't like babe. If this my babe, but that's a different story, because at that point I'm saying, okay, I want to, like you said, build with this guy. I want more with him. So it'll be a different story then. Again, at that point, that's when we cut off everybody else. Because at that point I feel like now if we're going to build together, that means we're working toward marriage, which means now we have to begin to plan, that, okay, all these other people that we were messing with, we got to leave them alone now. But I'm uno, I'm single. I'm living a single life. Single.
All right. So the next point we had here was evaluating yourself. And why is that important? Well, to you, I'm asking you personally. Why do you think if self-evaluation is important?
Self-evaluation is very, very important. A lot of times what happens if you don't evaluate who you are and take a look at the man in the mirror or the person in the mirror, then shout out to MJ. If you don't take a look at that person, what's going to happen is all the baggage that you had before and all the stuff that you encountered as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, whatever, is going to come over into that relationship. You have to first deal with all the past hurt, all the past pain, anything that you feel that was in pain. You got to deal with that first, because you're going to carry that over. For me, prime example, I had to take a year and face who I was as a person. That year was the hardest year for me. Nobody understood where I was. First of all, people thought that I was just being funny. I wasn't talking to them. But when you're facing who you are and facing the things that you went through, facing the things that you have done, you know, you can't really pour into anybody else, because at that point, everything you have in you is being drained. So imagine everything being drained out of you and you're not having any energy to pour into anybody else. I didn't have anything to pour into anybody because I had to face who I was. And facing who I was, you think that was not a pretty sight. I'm sorry. It was not. There are some things that I have done in my past that I had to forgive myself for. There are some things that in my past that I had to forgive other people for. And forgiveness is not always for the other person. It's for you, so that you can grow. So there are some things that, you know, to me, I had to sit back and I had to take a self-evaluation. All right, now who are you? And so now the person that I am now is like, oh, okay, you want to leave? Cool. I'm all right with that, you know. But in the past, I would have been like hurt, devastated, you know, because or accepting whatever came my way. Accepting whatever guy came into my life, because you just want that warm body or want that feeling. Now I don't have to have that. I can lay in my bed with my pillows at night and I'm cool. You know, I don't have to have that warm body. Or I don't have to go out with somebody. I can go out on a date by myself.
Man, it's wonderful. Yeah. It is a great feeling to do that. And I'm glad you said that. That dependency on needing somebody else is dangerous. And because that's a classic sign to me, that's just me, of insecurity. Yeah. If you can't take the time to invest in yourself, and for the longest I didn't get dating yourself for the longest, and like you said, self-evaluating is a daunting task. Like there's some things you got to confront within yourself that are tough, like emotionally stressful.
Right.
And if you got somebody that you really like and you're trying to do that and balance them, you're going to neglect them, or you're going to hurt them. You could possibly scar them.
Yeah.
And so it's very important to do that before you go out dating or you know, seeking someone else. And you have to be prepared to face the truth. Like, you can't sit there and lie to yourself. Like I say to a lot of people I know, you can lie to everybody else on earth, but you can't lie to yourself, because at night when you laying there and it's just you're going to be sitting there thinking about everything.
Exactly.
It will eat at you. It will rot at you. It will ruin your next day, your next week, your next conversation. Because how many times have something been bothering you, but you didn't want to address it? Somebody call you. Dang, what's wrong with you? None, man. None.
I'm good. What's up?
Now take that and crank it to 1,000.
Right.
Like, people have to be... And that's the other thing. Like, don't be ashamed to cry with yourself or address something. And forgiveness is a big thing. Like, and you're right. It's not for the other person. It's for you.
It's for you.
You have to move on. There's plenty of times I had to let something go, and it might seem like the weak way out to yourself when you know, just thinking about it. But down the line, when you really forgive somebody, you're taking the power out of their hands for that situation, and you're living life, because it sucks to dedicate your life to hating somebody and they moved on.
Right.
Like, how that makes you look foolish. Like, it utterly makes you bitter, because here you are hung up on one thing that happened, or the way something ended. And they might see you 10 years from now. Oh, hey, how you doing? And you over here with a meme mug.
What?
So if they can move on, why can't you? Like, Like, do it for yourself. Do it for your mental health. Don't sit there and I hate this, and people are so guilty of this. Don't be throwing subliminal shots on Facebook through statuses. That is so lame.
And by the way, guys and ladies, things that I post on Facebook are not always about me.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of people post things on Facebook and they be like, oh my gosh, she going through this. No. No. She's not going through nothing. I am not one who posts my personal business on Facebook, especially when it comes to relationships. That's a whole nother topic for another day. We're going to talk about Facebook and relationships and Facebook and dating, because it does play a factor in your relationship. Social media is hard. Yeah, when it comes to dating and relationships. So, but definitely don't look more into people's statuses than they are. There are so many people who put their stuff on Facebook though, and I'd be like, oh, You did not say that, you know. But then again, you got to look at it again. It's social media. People are attention seeking.
Man,
social media is the best way for people who have attention seeking behavior to get their attention.
Man, it's like that. It's like a lunch table in high school.
Yeah.
Where all the mess generate. And you know what? Like, I'm glad you said that. And I'm gonna leave this topic alone with Facebook because, like you said, it's another topic. You know the little app that takes you and turns you to the opposite sex.
Oh.
So I did it because I thought it'd be funny because I seen my partner do it. And I'm like, it can't really do that. I'm like, it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I did it and posted it. And I thought it was funny. I got text messages, shots thrown at me by my own frat brothers. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to say who it is. And don't get me wrong, I still love them to death because they're my brothers. But, like, come on, man. I'm even if that was my lifestyle, like, why would you do that? Like,
your lifestyle is your lifestyle. That's
I'm grown. Like, you don't have to take shots.
Yeah, what you choose.
Don't get me wrong.
You choose.
I think I'm a man. I feel like a man.
Right.
So let's get that clear.
Right.
But like, I know who I am. But like, I don't need nobody throwing shots. Like, that's too much. Like, it's okay to just disagree. Like, that's the problem with people.
Yeah. And when people get to a point where they realize you don't have to agree with people and their opinions.
At all.
Our show is basically going to be about that because you're going to hear different people's opinions. You're going to hear different people's views on things. And we're people who respect other people's views. I don't care what your religious background is, what your status is. I don't care where you came from, what country you grew up in. It does not matter. But how people view relationships and dating, everybody views it differently.
Yeah. 100%.
Everybody views it differently. And there are going to be some things that we're going to agree on, but there are going to be some things that we're going to have to say, okay, we're going to disagree, and leave it at that because it's going to get to a point where, there are going to be some hot topics.
Man, look.
And
I'm just waiting.
I know, and I'm excited about those. We're going to have roundtable discussions where we invite people onto the show. And the roundtables right now may happen more often than we think because I know a lot of people that would love to voice their opinions when it comes to dating. But there are some shows that we're going to do that's going to get to the nitty-gritty of some things. And when we get down to the nitty-gritty of things, y'all just going to have to stay tuned. A lot of people don't know how to be content in their singleness. They are what I call serial relationship people.
Okay.
And those people, they feel like, okay, prime example. You've been with somebody for, let's say about 5 years, right? And after the 5 years, something happened, y'all break up, right? Okay. After you break up with that person, the next week,
oh man, that's not possible.
You got somebody else in your life. Oh, it's very much so. I know people that's been together. They were together longer than 5 years.
We gonna have a conversation if that's the case.
Man,
if I'm with you 5 years and a week later I'm still grieving and you over here hugged up. Look, let me say it. I'm gonna get away from Facebook.
Man,
let me catch you at the fair.
Dude,
it's hugged up.
I know people that was together longer than that. Longer than the 5 years. And the next week you got somebody new. And when you have moved on that fast, you have not taken time to heal, period. So what you taking from that last relationship, you're taking into that new relationship. And you're taking what you thought you were supposed to have in that last relationship, you taking that into the new relationship. You're taking everything that you wanted the previous man to give you, you're taking it and you're going to expect that from the man is or young lady. I mean, not say just man, but whoever the next person is, you're taking that into that next relationship because you're expecting that from them. And that's unfortunate because now you're taking that into that relationship and expecting something from somebody who's not the last person you were dating. And unfortunately, you may end up with another broken person. And there are so many broken people because of situationships.
Ooh,
not
I like that
relationships.
word. I like that word.
Yeah,
Now,
situationships.
I'm gonna go a different route with the scenario you gave. Okay. If somebody's been with someone 5 years, break up a week later, you with someone else. That's gonna make me question. How long ago have you been detached from me?
Yeah.
Like how long ago did you determine that we wasn't working? So not only am I mad at that, I'm mad at the fact that you wasted my time. Why didn't you communicate with me after 5 years, after a year, after 6 months? If we're in a relationship, that means communication is open.
Right.
You shouldn't be shamed
to
tell me something. You done pooted around me or something after a year, so you need to be able to talk.
Right.
So what the one thing you can't get back is time.
No.
And you wasted my time. Like don't have me high on life or working towards a solution and you done checked out. Like that's look.
Well, let me give you another scenario too with that. A lot of times men check out faster than women, but when the woman checks out, she gone. Like if you have lost her emotionally, you've lost her already. So if he's checked out or stepped out, maybe not checked out, but just stepped out, got side family, side relationships going on, if he got these side chicks and she knows he has these side chicks, but she's still there trying to maintain the situation, but emotionally she's checked out from you. And once she let me not say all, let me not say all, because once she emotionally checks out though, because there are some women that just put up with that stupid shit.
I know a lot.
I know some too. And I know some that have put up with that for years. Like, I have yet to figure out why or how.
I can tell
you could put up with that.
I didn't ask him. I've asked. I have a homeboy. And he was married. And I'm not even going to say homeboy, I have an associate. Because he was married. And he's still with said party, but they're both actively doing what they do. And I asked him, I was like, why? Complacency. Scared to move out. Scared to be alone. That dependency.
The next one's not gonna work out like that one.
It's that I don't know what's out there, so I'm gonna stay right here. It's type of mindset. It's
brokenness.
Yeah. It's
damage.
The fear of starting over scares him more than being unhappy, and that's horrible.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that, because situations like that are just a ticking time bomb to me. Like, those be them situations where someone drops an egg, cracks the floor, and then the house gets shot up. It'll take something small to cause it to blow up.
Right.
So I guess that's why on the outside looking in, like for me when dating, if I feel it's not going anywhere, I'll pull you to the side and be like, hey, just keep it 100. Like that's date. And I know it's so many guys that say that, but I'm literally like that. The way I was raised up, nobody sprinkled sugar on anything. They're gonna tell you exactly what it is as it is. I prefer it that way. It may hurt like heck, but I'd much rather not look like a fool. Right.
If it's not, and off the top, I'm gonna use my situation as an example. I say my situation because we're not gonna talk about other people.